Here's what's making news now around Indiana. Brought to you by Chapman Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. The man for all seasons, Chapman. ChapmanHeating.com. Well, a business plan hatched in a basement by a group of Butler University grads has quickly turned into a booming microbrewery on the near northwest side of Indianapolis. Guggman Haus Brewing Co has only been open for just over a year, but their beer and historic ties to the Brickyard are attracting Hoosiers from all over, even during the pandemic. Around Indiana reporter Mary Rachel Redman has more.
Born together, and now in the business of making beer together.
Growing up, we did everything together. We shared a phone through high school, shared a car, went to the same college, we're in the same sorority.
But their appreciation for craft beer happened separately when the identical twins, albeit unknowingly, just so happened to find themselves living in beer meccas in different continents.
We've done everything together in life, mostly except for when Abby moved to Denver with her now husband, and then Derek, my husband, we moved out to Germany for a year. We went and explored all the beer halls, tiny little breweries, or big beer gardens in the middle of the city.
The exact same thing happened to Abby in the Mile High City.
The ability to be outside and appreciate nature paired with the beer culture there. It was really a big community feel there.
When the sisters and their husbands decided to make the move back to Indiana, they found themselves living on the same street in Broad Ripple. And that's where it all started. Home brewing in the basement as a hobby, evolving into let's start a business.
From there, we started working on our business plan. We started looking for a location at the end of 2015.
And they decided on this gem, 1701 Gent Avenue. Not exactly a looker when they purchased it in 2016.
It was a leap of faith. It was bigger than we really had ever intended, and not just this house portion. It was the whole property we were looking at the time. I think just the vision of what it could be.
But one could argue success was already rooted in this once hallowed ground that was formerly known as the Boyle Racing Headquarters, home to three-time Indy 500 winner Wilbur Shaw, also known as the savior of the Speedway.
So in the 30s and 40s, it was the Boyle Racing Headquarters. We're 2 miles from Speedway. Wilbur Shaw went on to be the president of IMS and helped save the actual Speedway from turning into a subdivision. It's just pretty cool that that was actually here in this spot.
And so far, it would appear Shaw's legacy is rubbing off on Guggman Haus. Since the microbrewery opened its doors in June of 2019, volume has increased nearly every month due to customer demand. Right now, the small family operation is manually canning over 1,500 cans of beer per week, selling around 95% of that, allowing the Guggmans, as they call themselves, to break ground on major expansion plans in the midst of a pandemic.
So if we walk straight ahead.
So we'll walk straight ahead, and that's our tap room. And then over here is our event center. It can hold about 150 people.
And what I think is so incredible is the brick, and that's original?
That's original brick tile. It's Kalamazoo brick.
This is a huge investment. I mean, this place is amazing.
We kind of just felt like we had to jump all in. If we were going to go for it, we just went for it and put all of our energy into this business to make it work. It's kind of week by week, figuring out what we're going to do, and not only in our current business model and figuring out how we're going to, looking ahead to the next week, the next month, during a pandemic, but then at the same time trying to plan for this and keep the big vision there, and I guess not get scared by what's here, because we're looking ahead to the future.
And you can literally hear the future behind us.
Yeah.
Mary Rachel Redman, Inside Indiana Business.
And that expansion is expected to be finished by this spring. Also making headlines around Indiana this week in Pike County, the $2.5 million Elmer Bukta Tech Center is getting closer to officially opening. The Pike County Economic Development Corporation says the facility, which will include co-working space, maker space, as well as a business incubator, will open in early January. The EDC says the center is being funded in part by a $2 million grant from the Federal Economic Development Administration. A small business in Fort Wayne is in the spotlight after being named one of Oprah's favorite things, that list on Amazon. Cans, Designs, Family PJ Set is one of the black-owned businesses Oprah is highlighting this year. Ashley Green is a former English teacher. She makes T-shirts and other clothing for parents and their families. Founded the company in 2014. She says they have increased sales and website traffic, I should say, by 350% and sales up almost 750% since being included on Oprah's list.